All right, once again, we're going to separate this paper into 4 equal squares. So we're going to first take our paper, put a hash mark at 6, put another hash mark at 6, and make a line down the middle. We're going to split it in half the other way. So on my paper, your paper may be different. My paper is 9 by 12. Your paper may be smaller, maybe a little bit bigger, so make sure that you measure it across and split it in half. So half of 9 is 4.5. Make another hash mark here. Half of 9 is 4.5. And make your line right down the middle. Okay, so you should be left with 4 equal rectangles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And your paper should be horizontal like so. Okay, so I have my chat open. I will be looking at it periodically in case you have any questions. Remember that the chat is for questions only, not to carry on conversations. All right, give you a minute to get that done. If you remember these are the circle graphs. This is what I told you is on the list of supplies. Okay, you're going to need one of these. The 4 basic forms are sphere. Okay, if you don't have a circle graph right now, you can trace a circle on a cup, something round that you have. I have this in my room. You can take that, you can trace almost anything. Anything with ridges, like a water bottle. Some water bottles have ridges. That wouldn't work. If it's a smooth water bottle all the way around, it would work. So we're going to turn this into a sphere. The next one will be a cube. Now, cubes have 6 sides, but at any point you will see only 3 at the most. And so draw the front of your square. Mine's a little bit crooked, but don't worry about that. Then you're going to draw 3 diagonal lines. And then 2 parallel lines. If I'm going too fast, don't freak out. I will go over it again. Okay. Shelby, hang on. I see your comment. I'm going to go slow and I'm going to repeat. Okay. So again, the circle, we just traced that. The cube has 6 sides total, but only 3 that we can see. We draw the front of the square as a square. Then you're going to draw 1, 2, 3 diagonal lines, all going the same direction. And these are shorter lines. And then you're going to connect with a vertical line here, connect with a horizontal line there. Okay? Take a pause, let you guys get that. And then we're going to go down here to what's called, well, it's a cylinder, okay? This is an example of a cylinder. All right, it's round. It's round at the top. It's round around the edges. And we're going to draw something like that. It has two vertical lines on either side, but we're going to start at the top. And the top is an ellipse. It's not a circle, it's an oval. And you notice I just kind of started moving my hand in a circular oval position, direction, and it creates an oval. Again, like the circles, okay, it's hard to make it perfect, so you just have to kind of lightly move your pencil around in an oval fashion, and it should be, these lines should be close together. these lines should be a little bit further apart. Okay, Ethan, I see your comment. It says submission failed repeatedly. Just keep trying. And again, if it doesn't work like right now, try a little bit later. Could be your internet connection, could be a lot of things, but it is working. We know that much. Vertical, 2 vertical lines, straight down on the side of your cylinder. Okay, so the bottom we have left to do. A lot of mistakes that beginning artists make is that they'll go straight across here. Don't do that. The curve here, which is in the front of your cylinder, has to be repeated here. So you're going to mirror this curve in front, and it has to curve out towards you. Don't go straight across. All right. So we should have a circle, a cube with 3 sides, front, top, and side, and then a cylinder. We see the top ellipse and then the sides. Okay. We have one more to do, and that will be the cone. The cone, we're going to start the same way with an ellipse, but we're going to put it down here. Okay, same thing, just start moving your pencil around in an oval fashion. Lightly put your pencil down and you should get an ellipse. It's like a hole in the ground, but it's going to be the base of our cone. Okay, like a traffic cone. We're going to find the center of that, make a dot, and we're going to go straight up from there, just eyeball it to about the same height as the cylinder, and make another dot. And then all we're going to do is go from the edge of the ellipse to the top point and do that on both sides. Do not worry about the lines being perfectly straight. Okay, if you have a ruler and would like to use a ruler, you may use a ruler to make sure that they are perfectly straight. But I would love for you guys to get used to just doing freehand. Okay. Now, on the cone, I need to get rid of this back line right here because it's a solid form, not transparent. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that dot, and then it becomes a solid form. Okay. So I have my 4 forms. Once again, we have the sphere, cube, cylinder, and cone. After we have our 4 forms there, I'm going to put in a horizon line on each one. A horizon line is where the ground meets the sky, or the floor meets the wall, or the edge of the table and the background. Do not have it go all the way through your form. Just connect it in the back, so to speak. But you're going to need a horizon line on in each rectangle. If mine are a little crooked, and that's okay, because not all horizon lines are perfectly horizontal. All right. Questions so far?
I always have to need help.
I know, Miss Shelby, and we will. We're gonna, you and I can work after 8:15 because the demonstration will be over by 8:15, and then whatever help you need, I can give you after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, go ahead and mute up again if you haven't already. All right. Next thing we're going to do is create a light source. We have to know where the light source is coming from. And so because I'm right-handed, it's just a little bit easier. And I'm just going to designate my light source with an arrow. And on each one of mine, my light source will be coming from the upper right-hand corner of each one of my rectangles. So just go ahead and physically put an arrow. It could be the left, could be the right, but like I said, I'm right-handed. It's just easier for me to go from the right side and put an arrow here. So you have your 4 basic forms. You have a horizon line on each one. You have an arrow designating the light source on each one. Now, little trick of the trade that I will show you. We're going to start to shade and put value a little bit as you develop your drawing. Every little bit of pencil, the graphite, very soft, can get smudged. So if I'm going to be working up here on the sphere, I want to get another piece of paper and cover the rest of the drawing so that I can place my hand on the drawing without fear of smearing it. Now, each of these forms is going to have a shadow. And for an ellipse, for the sphere, the shadow will be elliptical. Okay? It's not another circular shadow. It'll be an elliptical shadow. So I just want to take a little bit of a line to place where my shadow will be. Okay? If all you have right now is a regular number 2 pencil to get started, that will be fine. Okay? Once you get your pencil set, you will have different pencil leads, and I'm using a 2B, which is the best shading pencil that you can get. Okay? So I'm going to actually start on the form itself. And go to what will be the darkest area on the form. Notice I'm not going all the way to the edge. Okay, this is called a reflective light. Okay, because spheres only touch the table in one small spot. Everything else is curving up away from it. And so when that happens, the refracted light will reflect off the surface that it's sitting on and will reflect on the sphere itself. So I'm going to start to place my value, but I'm not going all the way to the edge. And this is called hatching. Simply hatching and moving my pencil back and forth, sometimes different directions, and when I go different directions, it'll be called cross-hatching. But I'm going gradually at first. I'm still holding my pencil back here. I've got a little fuzzy on me. There we go. But I'm gradually layering in value. I'm not doing it all at once. If I press really hard, it'll just get too black too fast and end up being a mess. So as I add layers, and look, it's developing this C shape because it's wrapping around the form. Now the key is to not go too far with your value. You don't want to get it too dark too far, and you don't want to go too dark as you get closer to the light. So I'm gradually relaxing my pressure. As I go forward. I need my glasses. When you think about values, values are infinite as far as the different number of values. You can always add or take away a little bit of value to make it a little bit lighter or a little bit darker. We're going to concentrate on a 5-point value scale. 5 being black, 1 being white. So 5 is black, 4 is dark gray, 3 is middle gray, 2 is light gray, and then 1 is just white. So this would be 1, 2 is light gray, 3 is middle gray, 4 is dark gray, 5 is black. I haven't achieved a black yet. In every drawing that you do, you will want to have some place that is as dark as you can get it, and that's called contrast. That will be one of the principles of design that you will learn. Is on your list on Canvas. If I get too dark in an area, remember the kneadable eraser I talked to you about on Monday. It's a very good drawing tool. And we'll remove any value that gets a little bit too dark. Now, also talk to you about blending sticks, okay, which you probably haven't received yet. If you've gone to the store between Monday and today, you may have these. If not, don't worry about it, okay? But with the blending stick, you lay it down on its side. You don't use the tip. It's not like a pencil, okay? There will be times where you just need fine detail and can use the tip, but right now we lay it on its side. Put my fingers on top, thumb underneath, and lay it on its side so I can cover more area. And I'm just gently moving the blending stick around and smoothing out the values that I have placed. Once I get to the lighter area, again, I don't want to just keep going. Okay, I'm going to do what's called feathering. And feathering is just moving your pen or blending stick in one direction. And I'm pulling that value into the light area. One direction only. And I've left this tiny line of reflected light all the way through, or all the way around my form. Curved forms are tough to do. That's why we're starting with the sphere. If you go outside the line, no problem. Just get your kneadable eraser, clean that edge up a little bit. Sometimes a circular motion works best if you want to get smoother values. can always go darker. So if I want to make my dark gray darker, just go back in. Again, I'm using a 2B pencil. But if it doesn't pop off the page, okay, if it doesn't pop, it's not dark enough. There has to be a distinction. If all your values are light, it'll look like it's just half done. Again, we're getting out of focus, so I apologize for that. On the shadow, sorry?
It's so hard.
Shelby, I know. We will talk in just a few minutes here, okay?
Okay, I'm going back over there, okay?
Okay. On your shadow, pretty much just go back and forth, because remember, it's sitting on a flat surface. This surface is curved. Therefore, we're going to do more lines that are curved. On this surface, which is the table it's sitting on, it's a flat surface. So if I start to curve my lines all over the place, it's going to get a little bit weird looking. So try to keep I can still crosshatch, but I just have to be more careful. And ultimately, this value is going to be the darkest. This is the shadow, and it's going to be darkest where it is closest to the sphere. And then gets a little bit lighter as you go out and away from it. And you can blend this as well. So when it comes time to blend, you use your blending stick and then move out towards the edges lightly, not putting a lot of pressure here. But it does need to go darker. We're getting there. Still have to do some fine tuning, but it's getting there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 8:15, so I am going to